You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to Unstoppable Actors. I am so happy to have you here because I am going to be talking about something that I am so passionate about. I've got a feeling this is going to end up being a bit of a lengthy episode, so pull up a pew and take notes is what I would say, because there's lots to learn from this one. This comes from my experience of having both drama school training and then going to regular acting classes as well. If you are new to Unstoppable Actors, I am so excited you are here. Thank you for finding us. And I hope this is going to be the first of many episodes that you're going to tune into. I've got so much I can share with you that is going to help you go from where you are now to becoming an unstoppable actor. And if you're returning, thank you so much for listening. I love getting your messages on Instagram. I got a message from an actress a couple of days ago who dropped into the DMs on Insta, which is at Standby Method Acting Studio, to say that she loves the podcast, she loves my energy, which was a very nice compliment to receive, so thank you for that, and that she listens in the car. So I would love to know, where do you listen to Unstoppable Actors? Is it on the dog walk? Is it in the car? Is it whilst you're making tea? Let me know. Come into our DMs on Instagram and share with me where you're listening. I'm just being nosy, but it's always so good to put faces to the listeners. I'd love to invite you to apply for the Spring 10-week method acting module, which covers the animal exercise, which is such an amazing technique. Oh, I love coaching it, and I love seeing the work that our acting students produce. It's just incredible. Sometimes I've looked at them in the past and gone, is this actually an actor in the class, or is it a real gorilla? Like, that's how good the work is that they produce. And that's what we're going to be exploring starting from Wednesday, the 16th of April, running for 10 weeks up until June. So I'd love you to come and apply for a place on that module, because you will absolutely transform into the characters in a way where people are utterly gobsmacked. They'll see you walking into your audition, or walking onto set, or walking onto stage, and then this character will evolve that will look and sound nothing like you, and they will be utterly gobsmacked. And if that's the kind of impact that you want with your acting work, I recommend you getting an application in. And the link for that is bit.ly/the standby method. But I've also left that link for you underneath where you've hit play as well to make it easier for you. So today we are talking about why regular acting classes miss the mark. And it's a bit of a spicy topic, this one, because I am sure lots of people are going to have lots of different opinions on this. Like I've said to you in the beginning, this is coming from my experience of having been to drama school and having taken acting classes, regular acting classes after drama school, and then eventually finding method acting training. I should caveat this episode and what I'm going to share by saying that one of my biggest motivators for me setting up Standby Method Acting Studio is from an absolutely horrendous experience that I had at drama school. If you're a regular listener, you will have heard this before. Sorry you're hearing this story again. It's always good to remind ourselves of horrible things that can happen in the industry and how we can move forwards from them. And if you are new, you might find this a little bit shocking. So I was at drama school. I was in my third year. In drama school, you do a showcase. And so we had been rehearsing this for a number of weeks. And then the day before, we were due to go to London to do the showcase. And for those of you that don't know, a showcase is something you do in front of casting directors and agents. And it's a bit like a cattle market. And then they decide whether they like you and either want to offer you representation or call you in for a meeting or call you in for an audition. So the day before we were due to go to London, we did one last rehearsal, and the director was giving feedback to everybody. So we were all in the same room. We were all sat lined up against this wall, and he was going down everyone one by one. And he got to me. I was one of the last to get feedback, and he looked at me with so much disdain and this intense, piercing stare, which was actually quite scary. And he said to me, very direct and blunt and with zero emotion, "That was fucking shit." Can you even imagine? I mean, I can laugh at it now, but at the time I was absolutely devastated. I wanted the ground to swallow me up. Not only had he given me feedback that was not, I can't even call that feedback because it's not constructive criticism. It was just him being a bully, let's be honest. But not only has he done that and made me feel like shit, he's done it in front of all of my peers. How bloody embarrassing. Who does that? Who actually does that? Well, this man in his 50s at the time did. And I can tell you now that did absolutely nothing for my confidence. I walked out of drama school not only in £1,000 worth of debt, but also thinking I'm a shit actress. And I did not get any casting directors or agents interested in me at that showcase because his words, his horrible words, were just spinning round and round and round in my head as we were performing, and I did not feel worthy of being in that showcase or on that stage. I never want any actor feeling like that, especially as you are so brave and courageous to go against the norm of a regular job with a steady income. And that is one of my biggest motivators for setting up Standby Method Acting Studio. I could not have that on my conscience, making someone feel that way. I, on reflection, have looked at this and gone, actually, yeah, my acting wasn't that great. It was not that great in that rehearsal. He was right to say it wasn't great, but not using the vocabulary that he did. He could have worded it better. But then also, as an acting coach now, the responsibility, I believe, because I take my job very bloody seriously, the responsibility is partly on the school. It has to be a collaboration. And I was shown no exercises to be able to connect to this role. I didn't need to keep rerunning the scene and getting myself in a tizzy with it, which just led to me beating myself up and not feeling good enough. I actually needed someone to reassure me that you've hit a creative block and this is normal. I needed them to validate my experience and then show me how to relax mentally, because that was the problem. I couldn't get out of my own head. And then I needed to be shown what exercises to use to reconnect, but I got none of that. And this has driven everything that I do with Standby Method Acting Studio. It has allowed me to shape it, I guess in a way through the actors that come and train with me. I'm giving younger Louise what she never got. But also because I want actors out in the industry who are ambitious. And this is a word that I heard years ago. I can't take credit for it. I heard it from a guy called John Assaraf. Ambitious is someone who's humble yet ambitious. And for you to be that, you've got to have belief in yourself and the skills to back that up. So after that experience, I, of course, felt unworthy of being in the industry. I did not feel ready to audition. My confidence was in tatters. So I went to other classes after drama school. And what I started to learn is that most regular classes run in very much the same way. And they miss the mark because they give you a piece to learn, let's say a monologue or a scene that you're sharing with a scene partner, but they don't show you how to prep it. So what most actors end up doing is just going away, learning the lines and not knowing how to connect. And they don't even know what their own blind spots are as an actor because nobody's telling them, and then nobody's at least showing you how to overcome them. So you're given this piece, you go away, you learn the lines, and then you present it in class and you get feedback. And I remember some of the classes that I went to where, again, the drama teachers were just awful. There's no other way to put it. So I remember this one particular class that I went to in the north of England. I'm not going to share where, and I'm not going to share who this person was. He loved talking about the actors he'd had in his classes who'd then gone on to work on a very popular northern TV soap here in England. But he was a bully, pretty much like the director that I'd experienced at drama school. He would bully people until they left if he didn't think they were talented. And I remember him literally shredding one girl's confidence to bits. He just kept telling her and I'm totally paraphrasing this, but in words along the lines of, that's rubbish, it's not good enough. And that was the feedback he was giving. That's not conducive to any kind of development. All that's going to do is break someone's confidence. Now, I'm not saying all acting coaches in regular classes are like this, because they're absolutely not. There are so many coaches who have got integrity and empathy and compassion. But this was starting to become a bit of a pattern that I was seeing. And I started to really have some words with myself and go, why am I paying to be in a class to be taught by someone who's actually not teaching me anything? They're literally just giving me feedback. And they're being a bully. They're not working with integrity. Like, why do I want to give my money to someone like that? And it absolutely shaped my values in working with integrity. And as I've already said, I started to notice this because I then tried lots of different regular acting classes. I started to notice this pattern. You get given a piece, you go away, you learn it at home, you have some rehearsals in the class, as in rehearsals with either just by yourself if it's a monologue, or with another actor or actors if there's multiple characters in the scene, but you're not working with the coach or the drama teacher or whatever you want to call them. You're rehearsing on your own. And this is all new early career actors who really don't know what they're doing to make these connections. So we're all fumbling around with the scene, just trying to make it sound natural. And then you all go up and present the piece. Now, if it's TV class, it'll get recorded. You'll watch it back and you'll get feedback. If it's a general acting class, usually it's not recorded. You present the piece and then you get given feedback after performing. But there was no nurturing of skills and exercises in these classes that I was going to. And I just couldn't understand it, because I could see actors and I could feel myself struggling with things, but not knowing what the missing piece was to connect. And that might be struggling with things like connecting emotionally in a way that's authentic, or it might be knowing about the character's purpose in the scene, but having an exercise to be able to get you to connect to that purpose, not just knowing it on a logical level. And then I found method acting classes. And this was an absolute game changer for me. I was thoroughly blown away. Because in those classes, it wasn't, oh, go away, rehearse a piece on your own, fumble around with the scene, try and figure it out, make it sound natural, come back, perform it, get feedback. There were actual techniques that we were using. And I was like, whoa, this is different. So we started off with relaxing. And then we did exercises to open up the instrument to get it into a creative state. Now, if you're quite new to acting, your instrument is your body. And then we do exercises to get us connecting to our imagination, our life experiences, and our body so we can create a standout character that's unique. And it got me thinking. And I asked myself, as I was setting up Standby Method Acting Studio, and this was a few years later after doing the method acting classes, I asked myself, what did I actually need as an actor back in the early days? And I needed in-depth feedback. I didn't just need to be told, oh, you were nervous and you need to relax. No shit, Sherlock. I needed to be told something along the lines of, you're nervous, there's tension, it appears to be mental tension, and it's manifesting in your performance in this way, in the sense that your body's getting a little bit tense and you may or may not be aware of it, and it's blocking your imagination from being sharp, and it's blocking you from connecting to your emotions. And so what you need to do is use what we've learned in the methods chair relaxation and use that technique internally to allow you to relax. But you need to develop the awareness first of when it's blocking you. And that's what I needed to know, or I needed to be told, in this moment, what would be better for you is to use your objective attention exercise that we've practiced when you feel the nerves coming up. I needed someone to show me a roadmap to get into the character's heart, soul, and mind. I also needed an acting coach with patience and empathy and compassion, and somebody who could put themselves in my shoes and go, what was it like for me when I was training in the early days? Oh yeah, I remember feeling overwhelmed and like I just need to know I'm on the right track and that I've got some sort of talent. I also needed reassurance. I didn't need mollycoddling. I absolutely did not need that. But we actors, for the most part, we are sensitive. So I needed reassurance that when I was hitting blocks, this was absolutely normal. I didn't need to be shown up and embarrassed in front of my classmates. I needed someone to be compassionate with me and go, it's okay. I hit roadblocks as well with my acting. And then I needed to be shown things practically, because I am a practical kind of girl. If you show me what to do, I will do it until I master that exercise. But getting actors to rinse and repeat performances with feedback that's quite vague and general, like you're nervous, you need to relax, and then not showing them how to change and how to adapt, this only embeds the bad acting habits in them deeper, because repetition is the mother of success. What you repeat, you get good at. So if you continuously lose that one line in the same place and you don't know how to get it to stick, you don't know how to connect to it, you are going to get very, very good at forgetting that one line. If you force emotions and you play things at a very big, high energy level, and you're not finding the nuances in the scene, but you're being told, oh yeah, you're forcing the emotions, there's the too big, find the colours and the levels in the scene, but you're not shown how to do it, you're not given an exercise, then you are going to get very, very good at forcing emotions and fake acting, because you will still be repeating the same habit of forcing. So here's how a method acting class runs. You start, first of all, and when I say a method acting class, I'm talking here about the ones that I coach and lead. You start by setting an intention for the class. So you share something you want to learn about yourself as an actor, because this gives you autonomy over your development and it gives you self-awareness. And the learning goal could be something such as, I want to learn more about where nerves are blocking me and how they're affecting my performances. And then you stick with this, which, as I've already said, develops self-awareness, because that is the first key to developing. Then you start with the method chair relaxation exercise. But before we begin this exercise, once we're sat in the chair, we drop into the body and we ask it, what do you need from me in this exercise to get me into my most creative state? So what this does for you is you start to develop an artistic sixth sense over your instrument. We do that exercise for an hour because it takes at least 10-15 minutes for actors to get really focused and present in it. Then we do the concentration exercise after, because this develops your listening skills and your focus skills, because all acting is about listening and responding, right? But what most actors are doing when they're not practicing this concentration exercise is they're waiting for their cue word or their cue line, which isn't genuine listening. And this leads to rote responses, which are fake. Thirdly, we do the sense memory exercise to sharpen our imagination. So you can put yourself in any situation, such as I'm on set, it's absolutely boiling, but I'm supposed to be up Mount Everest where it's freezing, and you can draw upon your sense memory and you can create that cold through your imagination and have a genuine experience of the cold, because you know how to do it, you've been shown how to do it. And these are the 3 foundational exercises we start every single class with. It's non-negotiable, because this shows you how to become a sharp, disciplined actor who is self-sufficient. So when you're given that generic feedback, you know what you're doing. You know to tap into your toolbox and go, oh, I was told that I was nervous in this performance. Right, I know I need to use my methods chair relaxation internally. Or I was told that I wasn't listening. Oh, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to draw upon my concentration exercise now. And you're also shown how to implement these 3 exercises into your scene work, like you are shown physically and practically. And then what we do next is we will work on exercises specific to the module. So as I've already shared, the next module I'm going to be coaching is the animal exercise that starts in April. And what we'll do is we'll get you to do exercises that connect you to the animal, mold and shape your body into the animal and their behaviour and their rhythm and their physicality. And then over the 10 weeks, we'll start humanising it. And then you'll play a character which you completely transform into, which looks and sounds nothing like you. That has your audience completely astonished that you were the character, because in real life, you're so different. So we use physical, practical exercises. Once we've been doing those exercises, you're given a scene and we start workshopping the scene you're working on, which means when things aren't working, you are told, right, this is what's happening, this is a blind spot, this is a weak spot, and this is what you need to do to overcome it. And then I coach you through it. I do the exercise with you. I'll always show you the exercise first, then you do it, and then we go into the scene again, and that gets you to connect. Then we end with more in-depth feedback, and then everybody shares at the end of the class what's landed for them. And we do this because it embeds the lessons in you deeper and moves you away from fake acting quicker. I love this way of working because it's not that me as a coach is put on a pedestal. There's no hierarchy in the class. It's a collaboration. And when it's a collaboration, actors feel safe. They feel safe to mess up, which inevitably you are going to do. You are going to mess up, but you don't need to be shouted at or ridiculed or embarrassed for it. You need to be reassured that you've made a mistake, which shows that you are actually growing and learning. And without that mistake, you couldn't have moved forwards. So if this sounds good to you, you like this approach, I'm inviting you to apply for the spring 10-week method acting module, which covers the animal exercise, as I've already shared. You'll feel safe and secure in yourself as an actor because you will get the tools and the feedback that lead you to your first or next paid acting job. So this module starts on Wednesday, the 16th of April. It's online, so you can be from anywhere in the world to apply. I want to help you improve. So go and have a read up on it. The link is bit.ly/the standby method, or you can simply click the link that I've left for you in the description. I hope this has been insightful for you. I also hope on some level that if you've received feedback similar to what I did, it's going to help you consider what your boundaries are as an early career actor, developing your skills and talent. I'll see you again soon. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.